What's up, dudes? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. It is Friday morning, 6:30 a.m., and it's time to do another cut test with the Civivi Vision FG, I believe. Can never remember those letters. So I did a cut test with this previously, and it did not do very well in the edge retention department. I know it's Nitro V, so it's not going to be amazing as far as edge retention goes, but it didn't really hold an edge like I thought it would or was expecting it to. So I thought maybe it has a burnt edge from factory. If you don't know what that is, basically, with these large production knife companies, they're using belt sanders to put their edges on. And sometimes if you're holding the knife in one position on the belt sander for too long, it heats up the edge and starts destroying the heat treatment. It softens up that steel right there where it's getting hot. And that's what's called a burnt edge. And that messes up your edge retention because the steel has gotten soft there. So sometimes if that's the case and you reprofile it or just sharpen away a lot of that bad steel and get down to the good stuff underneath, the issue is resolved. You're down to the properly heat treated blade steel down under there. So that's what I did. I put a brand new fresh edge on this with the Work Sharp Precision Adjust fixed angle sharpening system. And it is very, very sharp. One of the sharpest edges I've gotten from that sharpener, actually. It's like hair whittling sharp, which I don't know why, but I don't really get that all the time. So it's very sharp. So let's go out there and cut some stuff and see. Last time, we were cutting paper nicely before we started. We went through the cardboard and the utility cutting and maybe the glove, and then after that point it was having significant issues slicing paper. So we'll see if it gets any farther this time. I'm curious to find out. Let's go. All right, round two. See if we can do it, or see if the knife can do it. Check out this edge, man. It's real nice. Gliding through this graph paper. This graph paper is kind of thinner than regular like copy paper that I usually use. So if it cuts this stuff real cleanly, then it's a pretty good edge. Now let's see if it actually holds up. Gliding through the cardboard, just like last time. It really didn't have an issue with as far as cutting, as far as like the geometry of the blade itself. It cut really well. It's thin behind the edge. I like the blade shape. You'll see here in a minute when we go, start cutting things down on a cutting board. The way that the blade is shaped and angled up from the handle, it works great. It really was just the edge retention that I was a little skeptical on. So anyways, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Went through the cardboard real nice. Utility cutting. This knife's very good at it. Zipping through this stuff. Let's do some curves, some turns. Very nice and clean. Now to the glove. Let's roll this baby up, cut some leather. Actually, I want to get the taped gunk off first. I want there to be as few variables as possible, because sometimes the tape gunk kind of grabs the paper as you're cutting through it, and I don't want that to happen. So we're at the graph paper. It's definitely not cutting as well as it was before the cardboard, that's for sure. I was able to get a nice cut in there, though. And I want to try on this. This is a little bit thicker stuff. It's not regular magazine paper. It's like, you know how the front page of the magazine's thicker? That's kind of what that stuff is. And I was able to cut that pretty well, so I don't know yet. I mean, it's not a good sign. It's not a great sign that we're not able to cut the graph paper anymore. But well, we're going to keep going here. Let's roll up the glove here. It's cutting well. Kind of almost a push and then a drag through. Gets it cut all the way. So not as good as some other knives I've tested where you literally just have to push straight down and it cuts it all the way through the leather. But not too bad. We got clean cuts with not too much effort. Let's move to the rubber tubing. It's doing well. So here's where I was talking about the way that the blade is angled up from the handle a little bit. I guess the edge. You can see I can almost get all the way, the whole edge down on the surface without my knuckles hitting. Almost. It's pretty close. So, that's what you want in a food prep kitchen type knife. Or any kind of cuts like this where you're on a surface kind of chopping away at a veggie shaped thing. So that's pretty nice. Good for this kind of stuff, food prep, whatever. Now the Cecil rope. Cutting pretty cleanly. Not every time. Sometimes I had to go back and go through a second time. But that might have been mostly user error. Alright, what next? I definitely don't feel the bite on the edge like I used to. It's feeling pretty dull at this point. Let's get this this thick, heavy-duty 2-inch strap out. I think it could get through this all the way if it had, if we had done this at the very beginning with that nice fresh edge. I think it probably could have gone all the way. The first time we are almost 3/4 of the way through, which is not bad at all. Second time. A little over halfway. And last time, about halfway. Really not bad. Not bad at all. So that kind of goes to show you that, even though it's not cutting paper, it's still a good working edge that you can, definitely still get work done. Now it's cutting this thick stuff pretty well, but when we go to the graph paper, which is much thinner, it's like not even wanting to bite into it. It's pretty, it's interesting. Yeah, it really does not want to cut this stuff. So there you go. I mean, you could still get a lot of work done with an edge like this. But compared to where we were with our brand new fresh edge, significant dulling. I mean, it was gliding through this graph paper earlier. And now it barely even wants to do anything. There you go. I would be interested to... Oh, we're going to strap it up real quick and see if we can get it back. Get our edge back. I need to, I think, test another knife in Nitro V. Probably maybe something not from Civivi. I don't think I have any Nitro V that's not from Civivi. It's been a while since I've tested Nitro V, and actually now that I think about it, I think I've only ever tested Civivi's Nitro V. I don't think I've tested it from any other knife manufacturers. So I don't know if this is typical for Nitro V or not, or if this seems to be a little bit soft maybe. I just don't know. So, you know, use this information and do what you will with it. You know, we were cutting paper real nice before, and afterward, not at all. So, do I think it did better than with the factory edge? Yes, I would say a little bit better. Not like, oh my god, the edge was so burnt, but definitely, you know, noticeably better, but nothing real crazy. So after the stropping, you can see we're nowhere near as sharp as it was, but we are able to get some good cuts on the graph paper now. I think a little bit more time spent on the strop would get it pretty close to where it was. So there you go. I gotta say, you know, this knife is not really grabbing me in the way that I thought it might. Something about it, or maybe a combination of things, just doesn't... I don't love it. I just don't love it. You know, maybe it's because I'm spoiled with, you know, because I usually carry, you know, these really badass super steels, you know, K390, 15V and stuff. So maybe I'm spoiled with those as far as, you know, I'm used to having much better edge retention. So maybe it's that. I don't know, man. It's just... I was actually thinking about selling it the other day, which I still might do. I'll do a full review on it, and by then I will have formulated some better, more coherent thoughts. But that's my thought right now, is not blown away by it. It's fun and fidgety. Just not blown away by it. So that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it was informative. Please like the video before you leave, and I will see you soon. Adios.